So it's round 11 in Super League this week. We're going to start with that because it's just ludicrous that it's existing this week. And we'll whiz through them with pretty quick predictions here. Thursday, 7:45 p.m. Castleford versus Catalans. I would assume the slightly less interrupted is Catalans, so I'm going to go Catalans by 10.
I'm going to say Catalan by 12.
Fair enough. And then also 7:45 p.m. it is Wakefield versus Wigan. What's your guess?
I think Wigan to bounce back somehow, but just by 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, Wakefield will have maybe some interruption from the combies, as well as losing two of their best players and kind of their leadership players as well to the England squad. But Wigan have lost a world-class back row. I really hope we scratch it out, so I'm going to go Wigan by 4 and go with my heart. My broken heart. Sky game, setting up the cameras in position at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. We have to suffer through Warrington versus Leigh, 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Given that he hasn't picked some of Warrington's best players, they're gonna fucking smash this, aren't they?
Warrington by 45.
Yeah, I mean, I'll rein it in slightly because of it just feels like a weird week. Warrington by 26. Couple of games that are directly clashing with the combies game. So 7:45 kick. Actually, it's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. I just saw that before. That's a weird one. But Salford versus Leeds. Salford will be without Dan Sarginson. Leeds will be without Luke Gale and Ash Hanley. Who'll be impacted more?
I think Salford. I think losing side. They're on a knife edge anyway. I think it's Leeds by 12 points.
I'm going to go Salford by 6. I think with the COVID interruptions at Leeds, as well as losing their most key player, I am going to go the other way. Finally, Friday 7:45 p.m. Hull FC versus Huddersfield. I can only see a Hull FC victory by about 18 to 20 points.
Yeah, I think FC by 18 for me.
Yep. Of course, Friday night Super League match between Hull KR and St Helens has been postponed after 3 more Hull KR players tested positive for COVID-19. The 3 tested positive over the weekend after 2 teammates returned positive results last week. 9 other Robins players have been forced to isolate as close contacts. Do we know if they were players who played in the game at Wigan? Is there no risk of a consequence on Wigan here for close contacts?
Don't think, nothing I've seen.
Come out now. We know, last week, Rowan Milnes was one of the players, but I don't know who else it was.
No, we'll wait and see.
Well, we won't, because they won't be playing. But let's talk about the internationals and representative games that we will be watching. So, I haven't pulled out the New South Wales versus Queensland women's game because I just don't know enough about it. But England women versus Wales women, Friday at 6 p.m. live on Sky. What are you expecting?
England by 30.
I think it could be a little bit more than that. I think, it's Wales' first test match, so they'll want to go out and play strong, but at the same time, the calibre in that side is just way behind the England side, so I think England by 50.
To be fair, because if you think of most of those players in the England side have played, 5 or 6, 7 games up to this point, whereas those Wales players have just been training.
And they were allowed to train as well, weren't they, as the elite sport status? So they've had a good spell together too. I think England women by 50 or more. But hopefully Wales put up a stubborn test for at least some of the game that'll help with England's preparation. England versus the Combined Nations All-Stars, Friday 8:15 p.m. kickoff on Sky Sports. I say 8:15 p.m. kickoff. It might be a few minutes later than that.
When was the last time any sort of international or major match ever kicked off on time?
And then adding that is the second game in a back to back. I've got my combies jersey though, with some of the money going towards the Mossy Masoi Foundation. That arrived today. It's quite good.
Yeah.
That was an understatement. It's a really cool looking shirt. But I don't think
Maker-esque, isn't it, in that pattern?
Yeah, I don't think that the combies will be able to win though, given that they don't even know. All they know is they've got Jackson Hastings and probably Jake Connor and maybe Aidan Caesar. That's.
I'm not sure if I need to put my hand up to back up from playing Thursday night. But I might be, at this rate, I might be on the call list.
I mean, do you even think they're gonna get much of a side together?
Who knows? I mean, at this break, we could see assistant coaches coming out of retirement or something like that, couldn't we?
Well, Haraki's going to play, isn't he?
I mean, you just don't know who's going to be left.
I think England will win it because they'll have had some sort of preparation and put together. But I do think there's a chance for like the shackles to come off whoever does get picked in that combi side, and hopefully they will be the test that England need, because otherwise the whole thing is even more fucking pointless than it feels right now with the Super League games going on at the same time. So hopefully it's a good game. We will see. England wheelchair versus Wales wheelchair, Saturday 12:30 p.m. on the BBC online. I mean, Wales are fresh off the Celtic Cup that we talked about last week, where they had some big results. But how far behind England do you think they are?
I don't know. I think it's probably one of the closest game of the weekend. I think, but I think again England have done. They were able to train as. I think they were able to train as elite as well. So I think they possibly have a slight edge there. But and interesting actually, just on the combies. But I've just seen that Matthew Shaw is reporting that the All-Star selectors have been contacting some championship clubs to take some players for the England game. So we could be seeing championship players against them. This is
Oh dear.
Only in Rugby League.
I think it should be a close, probably high-scoring affair, because the wheelchairs often tend to be, even in the better games do tend to be high-scoring, don't they? So I think it should be a cracker, but England will come out maybe with a win in the end.
Yeah, I'm going to plump for Wales on this one. But
Fair enough. They are two of the best three wheelchair sides in the world, so it should be a game everyone should watch. Then another game that everyone might want to watch is on Sunday, 10:50 a.m. kicking off. Guess what? This game doesn't have other domestic fixtures clashing with it. It's the Queensland Maroons versus the New South Wales Blues. Do you think the Blues are going to win as big as they won last time?
Probably not, but I think they still will. They should still win quite comfortably.
The news out of this one is that it really is that teenage Reece Walsh, who's barely laced up his boots in the NRL, is brought into the Maroon side. It feels like a desperate move, that.
Yeah, but then they're in that sort of place, so why not? Why not give him a go and see what he can do? Because it can't be much worse than the performance in game one.
Nope. We'll see if they are able to improve. What's your prediction, though?
New South Wales by 16.
Yeah, I'll go Blues 28-10. Women's Super League game of the week. We can pick one out. It's just we're not going to be able to watch it because it's going to be played whilst we record next week. But next Monday night, Wigan and St Helens catch up from their COVID-affected game from recently. So that's 7:45 p.m. kickoff. You'll be able to watch that on Twitch, kids. And Championship game of the week, Batley versus Halifax, Sunday 3 p.m. They're the only two sides that are above 50% that are facing off against each other. So I think it's the one pull out, and Batley served up a cracker as Championship Game of the Week last week. League One Game of the Week has to be Barrow versus Workington Sunday at 3 p.m. You've sort of seen what both these teams are about this year. Do you think Barrow will maintain their 100% start, or do you think Workington will be a different test that they've maybe not quite faced yet?
No, I think Barrow are a level or two above where Workington are. I think there was some scratchiness in the Workington side. I think they were quite sloppy, particularly against Coventry, where they weren't focused throughout a whole game. I think Barrow are just ruthless enough that they will cut through that.
Fair enough. Well, make sure everyone gets their fan views in on all of those games and any other rugby league beside that you watch over the next week, and we will talk about it on next week's show. We're now going to wrap up the show with a quick reggae-themed quiz. Well, no, just Jamaica-themed. I don't know. Don't have to say everything from Jamaica's reggae, do we? And then we'll get out of here. So we've got 3 players from the Jamaica squad. Name them from the history of clubs that they've played for, but what I've done is to make it slightly more difficult, I've omitted their current clubs. So I'm going to take you through their careers apart from the most current position of their careers, and you can guess who they are.
Okay.
So, this player played for Salford between 2007 and 2009. Do you know who it is yet?
No.
From 2010 to 2012, they were a Hull FC player.
Okay.
Before playing for St Helens between 2013 and 2016.
Is it Jordan Turner?
It is Jordan Turner. He then went on to not play for Canberra in 2017 before playing for Huddersfield from 17 to 20, and of course now is at Castleford. Second one. Between 2013 and 2014, he was a London Broncos player. During that time, he also spent some time on dual reg with Hemel. In 2014 till 2016, he was a Salford man. Then in 2017 and 2018, he turned out for Wakefield Trinity. That did include a loan spell with Dewsbury as well in the Championship.
Mason Caton-Brown?
It is. 2018 he was with Toronto, and 2019 he was back with Wakefield. And currently either at London Scholars or unattached, we're not quite sure. In 2012, this player started his career out at the London Broncos before a 2-year stint between 13 and 14 at Hull Kingston Rovers, where he also spent some time on loan at Gateshead.
Amari Caro?
It is Amari Caro. 2015 to 17, he was a Bradford Bull before being one of the longest standing Scholars players that they'll have in that squad, I suppose.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good stuff. I can't think of anything for recommendations this week. I don't know what you've got for us, Tim.
Have we done the Mayor of Easttown?
We've done the Mayor of Easttown, yeah.
Yeah, we've just finished that, and yeah, if you are starting it, do sit through the first episode. It's worth getting through. Yeah, that's the one we've been watching. We've also started watching I Hate Susie.
I think once you get to the end of the first episode, the last few minutes mean that you are going to be fine, sort of hooked in.
I was unsure. I was unsure if it was worth bothering with carrying on with, but there we go. And yeah, we just started. We're halfway through I Hate Susie, and one we have discovered looking around the Sky thing is Russell Howard on his tour of New Zealand and Australia. It's very fun. It's easy to watch.
How much rugby league is there in it?
Well, so far none, because he's only done New Zealand, but we've got 2 episodes left in Australia, so we might get something at some point.
Was this last week or this week? But one night I was watching sport. Can't remember if it was the Euros or the rugby. And I went up to bed,